I just made a little picture and I want to explain how it works. And this video is geared towards people who are living off-grid. Typically the off-gridder is going to, so we're talking domestic hot water. An off-grid home or camp or cabin or whatever, they usually just throw on-demand hot water at it. So on-demand hot water is just a wall-mounted unit. You bring cold water in, set the temperature on it, and then out comes your hot water at whatever set point you have. It works really good. It's really simple. However, there's a better way of doing things, especially if you have a good-sized solar array on your home or your camp or whatever. So I will say this is for full-time use, like year-round use, where you're living in a place you're not draining the water off. So I have this very similar setup minus the propane. So your well is here. Your water is coming out of your well is typically like 55, 60 degrees Fahrenheit, and I always encourage people off-grid heat pump water heaters. Regular water heaters use way too much power. It's hard on the inverters if you can even run 6,500 watts. These only use about 500 watts. So on your inverter, up here in the top side, you can set your inverter to click a relay on when your battery's full, or a bunch of different conditions. So what we do is we'll set up a relay that turns on, it energizes a circuit. So in this case, you'd have, say, a 40 or a 50 amp breaker in your electrical panel. We put a relay on there, so it turns that circuit on when your solar power is full. And this is all automatic. You don't have to think about it. So your battery, you have a really nice sunny day like today, your battery is at 100%, relay clicks on, it turns on your heat pump water heater. So that's probably 50 gallons. And what it does is starts heating that 55, 60 degree water. And if it runs all day, which today it would have, you have 140 degree water. It would be sitting there, 50 gallons, ready to rock and roll when you get home from work. So in that case, the water would, you want to have a shower, the water flows out of there. It's already at 140 degrees. It's going to fly right through that on-demand propane water heater. It's not going to turn on at all. It's going to go right through, and you're going to have a nice, lovely bath. Now, if you have a half day of sun and your water only gets to, let's say, 90 degrees, 80 degrees. So 80 degrees in the shower is not the best experience. So in this case, you've got your lovely fossil fuel to kick up the slack. So you got water coming out of your heat pump water heater at 80 degrees. Well, now instead of going from 50 degrees to 120 degrees, you only have to go from 80 degrees to 120 degrees. And that on-demand propane water heater is smart enough to measure the temperature coming in and runs enough propane to get it to 120. So you're going to have consistent hot water all the time with that system. I guess it would be a little hotter if you were running 140, but you're going to have an anti-scald valve in there as well. So this system works seamless. It ensures that you use the least amount of propane as possible, and it allows you to use the extra solar on your home, because you can't send it back to the grid. You're off grid, remember, so you can't just send it back to the grid and use it later like those grid tied guys. And so it allows you to use less propane. Summertime, it doesn't, you probably won't use, in my case, I don't have any propane on my hot water at all, none. All summer long, I rely on a heat pump water heater off grid, and it works great. If I get 4 days in a row of rain, then I don't have hot water, so I'd have to start my pellet boiler, and that would kick up the difference. But for most people, this is the simplest way to do it. I hate using propane, because it costs money, so we do it a different way. We have our propane, our wood pellet system there, and it used to be firewood in place of where the propane hot water is. But this is what I recommend. I got an email today, and they were asking about hot water off grid. Highly recommend heat pump water heater, and this is all in series, right? And you can even, if you have a lot of solar like I do, I have 2 heat pump water heaters because I can bleed a lot more electricity off. So then I get 100 gallons of hot water. So anyway, hope you enjoyed this video, and have a good night.